Human history, it is the history of migration. The main reason why people migrate are economics, and it starts off in the region where they are. If there's a change in the economy. Human history, it is the history of migration, and particularly if they feel that there's a kind of restriction of the economic opportunities that they have. And so we call that kind of push factors. And so if there's a push factor, then it leads to migration. Human history, it is the history of migration.
Why? It wasn't just...
Human history, it is the history of migration.
Change something in our life. And we decided to change something in our life.
Human history, it is the history of migration. They're not the poorest, but they're not the richest. They're the people being displaced by the changes in the economy.
The biggest problem in our country, it was always money, and the problem with survive.
Human history, it is the history of migration.
Change something in our life. We are missing for our families. We just started our journey.
My dad has always worked in sort of telecommunications. He moved over here to take the job. Still had the same kind of things in Denmark. It was an opportunity that he couldn't say no to. It was really, really hard to actually come over here and to be thrown into the English school system. The only thing I miss about Denmark now is obviously I've got all my family over there still. My mum and my dad and my two sisters are over here in England, but all my other family are in Denmark, so I do try to go back twice a year. But I could never live there again because it's two different worlds. I think I've lived here for 10 years, but if we decided to move somewhere else, I would be quite happy to do that, and I would do that to my children as well.
You would also get people leaving because of famines. People displaced by modernisation and seeking opportunities in industry.
When they were back in Togo, my dad was sort of almost involved in that whole political, you know how there's dictatorship and such, and my granddad was the mayor of the city and he had his house burned down and there was like really political issues, and my uncle almost got killed. My uncle got almost killed. My granddad got almost killed in this as well. And all of that because they were the people that were fighting for the change in this country. And people just they were the people that were fighting for the change in this country. To the point where my dad even refuses to come. And sometimes things happen to you where no one can understand, and no one will be able to understand you because they've never gone through anything similar as you. So most of the time I still have to remain quiet. I still have to put that cage, like that barrier in front of myself and other people and be like, right, there's my space, there's your space. We can never ever breach it and stuff. So yeah, it's always gonna be like that. I mean, it's never gonna change, is it?
I think you need to sometimes just try new things, and in the beginning might be quite hard, but at the end you realize it was just good for you, which means you can just move on.
Family over there still. My mum and my dad and my two sisters are over here in England, but all my other family are in Denmark, so I do try to go back twice a year, but I could never live there again because it's two different worlds.
We are missing for our families. We just started our journey. We will have to move to a different country because England isn't for us.
you're looking at, whichever period you're looking at, whichever city or town you're looking at along the south coast, you're always going to find there's in-migration and there's out-migration, and there are going to be peaks and troughs, but it's never going to stop, it's never going to end. And it will go right back to the beginning, and it will carry on into the future.
Human history, it is the history of migration. Human history.
Went home, we had a week off, we hadn't got any work that week. So I went home to New Cross, and my friend lived round the corner in Shallows Road, and she said, come and visit me, just of course I will. So I went round to visit her, and she said, her mother came in, oh Wiley, she said, come and have lunch with us. So I thought, oh that's nice, I haven't seen them for a long time. So I said, okay, yes I will, I'll go home, I'll have this lunch. Okay, so go home, oh I'd love to see it. I went a week off, as I got home that week, I went home, as I got home, front door, and that my friend lives round the corner. Okay, I'll go home, I'll have
We will have to move to a different country because England isn't for us.
They're not the poorest, but they're not the richest. They're the people being displaced by the changes in the economy.
Changes in the situation in Europe is going to change, so it will be more difficult than it was 6-7 years ago. Change something in your life.
Human history, it is the history of migration. They're not the poorest, but they're not the richest. They're the people being displaced by the changes in the economy.
Change something in your life.
The main reason why people migrate, and it's normally, it starts off in the region where they are. Maybe there's a change in the economy, and particularly if they feel there's
My first plan was to stay 1 year.
Change something in your life.
I just realized after 1 year, this country I got more opportunities, possibilities.
Change something in your life.
I got, you can meet so many people from different countries.
England, we come from a poor country, and most people didn't even know where Denmark was.
The biggest problem in our country was always money.
I studied on the university math, physics and IT in Bratislava. I got a master degree. Sometimes I was cleaning the toilets and I was just asking myself why I'm doing this kind of job with my education.
And the problem with survive. We will have to move to a different country because
Yeah, I just realized you have to start from the beginning somehow.
the problem with survive.
Human history, it is the history of migration.
Change something in your life.
The situation in Europe.
Yeah, it was quite hard in the beginning because of the
The problem with survive.
it wasn't easy to go to the doctor or to the bank, sort of figure things out.
They're not the poorest, but they're not the richest. They're the people being displaced by the changes in the economy.